Hey everyone out there, welcome back to another episode of Uncensored Solar TV, brought to you by, damn it, Solar Wolf Energy. And today I have one of the people here on our team, Mr. Director of Hospitality, just an overall amazing, good guy, great heart on this gentleman, super passionate about everybody he works with and the customers we have, and also gets what it is we're doing here in the solar industry and at Solar Wolf. So I want to introduce you all to a close friend of mine and an endearing colleague in one of the team here, Jereme Erlandson. Jereme, how are you, man?
Fantastic. Thank you, Ted. That was a grand introduction, and I appreciate it very much. I appreciate being here every day. We live in a very grateful world. This what you've built here is amazing.
Oh, and what we've built here.
Understand.
There's a lot of people here.
I believe it started from a closet somewhere with
we
a
did.
one man. It's no longer one man.
No.
And I guess there's a lot to be said here because we're going to go down my path, I guess.
We do. I want to. So let me go ahead and dive right in.
Yep.
So one day you just called me and you're like, "Hey, let's talk about the solar thing in my house." So
yes.
What brought you to that?
Oh, what brought me to say, hey, Ted's my guy for solar. So I guess I got to bring it back a little bit. Some people don't know my story. My son moved up here from Florida. My family sat down. We said, all right, so we need a bigger house. And we're like, all right, so if we're going to start looking at houses, what's the game plan? The home we found had electric heat. Obviously, that's a main concern around here, especially in New England. We need heat.
Oh, yeah.
So it was a large concern. Well, luckily for myself, one of my longtime friends, Ted, has a solar company. So we sat down and we're like, all right, so if we're going to buy this home, we're going to go solar. And obviously, I knew you'd been doing solar. I've been following stuff that you do. I actually, at that point in time, I'd spoken to you a couple times already about like things I wanted to do in my life outside of here. And understand this is solar, but if you ever have real estate questions, he's a great guy to hit up for. We do some sessions on Sundays. But so we bought the house, and then, hey Ted, when are you coming over? So you came over, sat down and went, it's gonna be this much. My family had a small heart attack. We,
So that's true, right? So just for everybody watching, so two things to know. One, Jereme and his family did not take it easy on me because we've known each other
Absolutely
for a
not.
long time.
Absolutely
You guys went at me and asked all the questions you should have, right? And asked all the questions that anybody who feels confident in not just what it is we're doing in solar, but in their business and everybody they work with. You guys asked the questions and made me answer them and held me to them, probably harder and honestly, and more stress than most other homeowners do. And honestly, you deserve that. I'm glad
Absolutely.
you did, because if you're going to make the kind of financial investment in your home and in your future utility usage, you should be asking questions like that. And I wish more people would.
in a business world, a lot of people have a hard time saying, hey, I'm going to deal with a friend. Because now, guess what? Anytime I have a question, I'm calling my friend. This goes, this, whatever, like now you're reaching out all the time. I have we'll call it a hotline to God. Mm-hmm. The guy at the other end is like, all right, like you own the place. I'm obviously calling you with any and every question. Of
course.
You hit every question we had, answered. You made my family feel comfortable with everything. Like I said, obviously we went through sticker shock. Everybody goes through sticker shock with solar. But there is the other side. I've now had solar on my home for years. It's the single best thing we've done to our house. I don't have, like I said, we have electric heat. We still have a bill during the winter. But it's like I'm paying for heat. Same as I would be if I was using wood, coal, anything else.
Yeah.
But I do not have an electric bill all summer long. You get the connection fee, but that's the end of it.
And then you get the incentives too.
Yes.
The financial incentives which come back, which
Absolutely.
obviously pay for the system.
Our system, when said and done, should pay itself off in about 8 years.
Yeah.
Which is okay.
It's phenomenal. And you got a 20-year warranty with the system, right? And 25 on the products used.
It really is a no-brainer. And then coming into that side of it, I installed coming into the winter. The winter months were obviously the lowest productions. So there's the summertime. Solar's awesome, fantastic. You're building credits, you're storing power to use later. But the winter months, we do live in New England again. It does produce less. No one's going to come out with some magic wand of the sun, and now it's up for 12 hours a day in the winter as well.
Yeah.
But there's obviously better with best. So we install in the home. The installers come out. These guys are wearing booties in the house, the whole nine. It's like, all right, yes, sir. Thank you, ma'am. The whole nine. Unbelievable from every aspect of this. And then comes the next layer where, like I said, my son's up here. My whole, we'll say, outlook to life, goal, game plan change. I now am at a point where I'm asking you to meet with me every once in a while. Like, hey, man, I want to change my financial ending. I worked at the car dealership before I was here, 14 and a half years. I've been in automotive since 1996. I went to college for automotive. I went to high school for automotive. So, basically everything I've known up to this point in time has been some kind of automotive related.
And this is getting to the transition as not just a customer for Solar Wolf, because we talked about the financials for the
Absolutely.
Solar. And this is now getting into, for those of you, again, who don't know, Jereme, obviously know Jereme works here. So, but first you were a customer,
yes,
and now you're a member, which is amazing. And I can't thank you enough. Having you here every day.
I can't thank you enough.
Oh, so my God, for real.
We're going to get up and bro hug in a minute. But it's, yeah.
But getting to that, if you could let everybody know, is what was the moment you said, I'm no longer doing this. I want to be bigger than just a customer. Because you're not the first person that's a customer of ours to call us and say, hey, are you guys hiring? We've had other people as well.
Absolutely.
And
even
I think
in my
that,
time here.
Honestly, greater than customers calling us and give us a review online that's 5-star, or greater than a customer calling us ecstatic saying, hey, my electric bill is actually zero, I have a credit or whatever. Those are amazing, but I think the biggest compliment we can have here, not just myself, but all of us here, is for somebody to say, I am so impressed with how you guys actually installed or facilitated the entire process. I want to come be a part of it. That to me is amazing, and honestly, that makes my eyes water sometimes, how proud I am of everybody here. And if you could just tell everybody what it is that made you want to do that also, because I think people, people have a real count for how it actually happened.
There are real tangibles to, number one, believing in a product, and obviously over time. In the beginning and stuff like that, like I said, we went through hey, is this working? We went through a winter of does it really work? Springtime rolls around and oh, guess what? It does work. You got to give it a year, make sure you go through everything. I got to a point where the installation, seamless. I love the way it looks on my house. Some people are like, oh, it's going to look gaudy, it's going to look whatever. Obviously, I went with the black panels. I love the way it looks on my house. It's a conversation starter. People come over and hang out in my backyard. It's like, oh, dude, look, you guys got solar? Yes. At that point in time, I didn't work here. Kind of going through whatever, the benefits of what it does for the world we live in. But ultimately, what it can benefit an actual household. Mm-hmm. And as I'm having these conversations with people being over my house, it got to a point where I'm realizing wait, this is an actual career. I could possibly join a team and not just be sitting there talking about people that come over and have cookouts at my place, where we can actually move to the next level and come into this business industry, which is making a global difference. Okay, I put it on my house, you put it on your house, you put them on your houses. We put them on the buildings we're in. But real talk, comes to a point where you realize, I'm making a difference for my children. You're a huge family man. I try and do a lot of stuff with my child in mind.
Absolutely.
Obviously, for anybody that knows me, knows my mother's a huge part of my life, my family, things like that. So, making this world a better place and being able to make it a career was unbelievable, making some other moves, things like that. But sitting down, having some conversations with you, and getting to a point like, how does this work? You know, where do we, you know, like I said, I'm coming out of a 14 and a half year career at a specific location. You know, there's a lot of time and there's a lot of like, okay, I can go in, do my job blindfolded, you know?
Right.
End of the day, every day is, you know, kind of, there's controlled chaos, I'll call it. So coming over to Solar Wolf Energy, you know, meeting the crew, everything else like that, like, I wasn't here a day before I felt like I fit in. It was like plug and play, like here we are, let's go get it, and kick ass. I just come in every day and say, all right, like how are we gonna dominate this space? Not how are we gonna find our place in this space.
Right.
You know, and that for me is a challenge every day, and I love it. It just comes into like, how are we going to dominate? Not, okay, like let's fit in, we're a piece of a puzzle. Like, no, we are the puzzle.
It's not.
It's.
I think the difference, and I think a lot of people outside of this company see it, and not just the community stuff we do and donating systems and just time or whatever. But it honestly, when companies in 2019 can get to a place as we are right now, can look at a thing of like, look, it's not worried about how much money we're gonna make, it's about how much difference we can make, right? The money will always follow, right? So if you can go out and change things, make things better, more efficient, offer people a better opportunity that attracts better people to our place, which is why like we spend a lot of money on this facility.
Yes.
Like having our own dedicated media room. Well, how many solar companies have that, right? Like we have a full gym, like not just like a couple of like a full gym. We have a library for our people, like just so you can work out your body and then work out your mind. And please do that while you're on the clock. Like, you know, if you can offer a Google or Silicon Valley type of atmosphere,
Absolutely.
and not have to be the size of a Google or a Facebook or Microsoft, but you can get the same results, which are quality people who are excited to go to work. Those people in turn take massive pride in their work and then obviously execute at a better or higher level than everyone else in the industry, right? When you can do that, you can do other things like we can donate more. Like such as
I was actually just gonna say, like before even coming here, I knew you did some stuff for the community. Like in my time here, the amount that you actually give back to the community also is just mind blowing. And to be
thankful
to be a part of this is every day is like, wow, all right. So we're not only, you know, helping people cap the cost of their power, produce their own power, some people with storage, some people with their EVs, you know, the day-to-days that we do on the actual business end of it, but the above and beyonds, you know, from the basketball teams to the little leagues, to the towns that you're in where you go to the police department, the fire department, you know, having basically a huge party here for everybody to see. You know, one of our coworkers is an Elvis tribute band, you know, having him put on a show for the town basically for free. You know, that type of stuff for me is huge. I'm a giver. Some people will call me a taker. I will take your negative energy and turn it into positive.
That's why I love having you here.
If that's what it takes every day, you know, put a little positivity out there in the world, I'm a huge fan, you know.
I love it. I think a lot of our customers see it too. But I wanted to thank you for doing this. I know we've been talking about doing this video for, almost since the day you started.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, this has just been amazing. But now that we have some real substance, you've been here a while, like, this whole thing, I can't say it enough. I appreciate you having you here. And I know a lot of our customers do too. But so thank you for doing this video with me today. I really appreciate it, Jereme. Thank you.
I am forever grateful. And I thank you for, you know, giving me the opportunity to show you what I could do in this team. What you've created here, and I know you continue to say what we've created, because it is a team effort,
No
end of the
question.
day. But I'm also grateful for you for taking me on, making me a part of this team, and seeing where we can bring this. The world has no limits.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for stopping by today for another episode of Uncensored Solar TV, brought to you by the amazing and dedicated, passionate, super passionate people here at Solar Wolf Energy. Leave your comments, questions below. Drop us a line to see if there's anything else that you guys want to cover. If you haven't got a chance yet, hop on over to, we have a podcast. We also have a podcast going now called The Wolf and the Worm. It is with Jereme and I. Jereme's nickname, for those of you who don't know, is the Worm. And obviously I'm the Wolf. So it's more of a take on social media style comedy, the funner side, the funny side of all things solar. So just check that out. It's the Wolf and the Worm podcast. You can see it over at YouTube. We'll have it up on the podcast streaming services shortly. But thanks for watching the episode here at Solar TV. And I hope to see you guys soon.